hand wrapping my hand, okay? And so when he was doing that, the reason I'm bringing this up, because now I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers, conspiracy guys that are now talking about how hand wrapping with Tyson Fury, like you can't see the palm. When you hand wrap, you can't see the palm. And that's how you know his hand was not wrapped correctly. Let me ask you, have you ever seen, and I know you have, but have you ever seen anybody with the open palm when their hand is wrapped?
What do you mean open palm?
You know,
like open, close, open, close?
Open, close, yeah. You can see the gauze and everything, and you can see the middle of your palm there, you know, where it's not covered.
Yeah, it's not covered. It's not supposed to be, because you create. Okay, so let me see if I can put my hand up. So basically, you create a bar right here to pull. It's called a pull bar.
Yes.
You build the padding up in the knuckle area right here. Let me see, right here in the knuckle area. And you make sure it's secured up in the wrist so there's no flex. So that's the basics of hand wrapping as far as for a fight's concerned. Now, the problem with them, this conspiracy people, and the questionings of the wrap is that commission officials, and it's every state I've been to, and I've been to countless states and been backstage on quite a few states while they're wrapping hands. There's a state official in every locker room overseeing hand wraps. And some of the really good commissions, I'll point out California, Nevada, Texas, they oversee the hand wraps, and they'll correct them if they see it's wrong. I've seen it happen in California. I've seen it happen in Nevada. I've seen it happen in Texas. They will stop someone and say, hey, you're doing it wrong. Please rewrap. And they'll make them rewrap. Now, the added benefit of a championship fight is that you are allowed to have an opposing team member come over and oversee the wrapping process. And it happens all the time. You see it all the time. Now, that person, you shouldn't send someone out there who does not know the business of hand wrapping. If you don't know it, you just don't go. Now, it's up to the team to send who, but you should send someone over there that knows how to wrap hands so they can oversee it. So that whole theory about Tyson Fury not wrapping his hands, you have a commission official and you have a team member of Team Wilder there overseeing hand wrapping. Now, the commission official actually knows the rules because he has to, or they have to. I'm sorry, there's tons of women officials within Nevada and California and so forth. So my bad for saying he. They know how to oversee and check the hand wraps. So a commission official, the possibility of another team member being there, the opposing team member being there, someone should have pointed that out at the time, and no one did. And if the commission official sees something that there's an irregularity in the hand wrapping, they make them rewrap. They don't have any horse in the race for them to sit there and go, okay, well, we'll let it slide for Tyson. We really like Tyson. No, they don't. They're as impartial as they can be. So getting it past a commission official, getting it past an opposing team member, and it's still sneaking by, it's virtually impossible. And if someone says, well, you said virtually, you didn't say it's 100%. I've never seen it happen, and I've been in countless locker rooms to safely say I've never seen it happen, and I've been going on 14 years of backstage locker room experience to see this.
Well, unfortunately, I was going to make a comment. Unfortunately, when you give these guys a possibility, they'll run with that. It's the funniest thing ever.
Well, I saw the it's the long sleeve theory now.
You're right.
Tyson's robe is too long.
Just so people don't think we're making things up, can you play that Dante clip about the wrap?
Yeah, I got a clip here from somebody who calls himself New Media, who has been pushing this Tyson Fury cheated thing, and this is in regards to the first fight, which Fury wore MX gloves, if I'm correct. But let's just listen to what he has to say here.
Another reason why we know that that's a knuckle and not the palm of his hand. Because if you've boxed before, then you would know that when you put wraps on, your whole palm is covered. You're not going to see skin. You're going to only see the color of the wrap.
You know what? I'll give it to you because you know what? Because with the term, if you've boxed before, it automatically in your head says, okay, this guy's boxed before, he knows.
Right.
But no, the palm of your hand is probably exposed because, like I said, the top part is to pull down on your grip. The bottom part is to kind of, it's more for supporting the wrist. So the palm portion is not needed. In fact, I would debate with him. Well, why do you cover your palm for? What's the purpose of that? Because I can go through each step of the hand wrap to tell you, okay, this palm area is for protection. This right here is to separate the knuckles. This down here is for wrist protection. Wrapping your palm.
I actually.
That's why.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even doing the
I wrap my
regular
own
Everlast wrap, you still, if you're wrapping it correctly, you're still leaving that opening because you got to get a grip on your glove.
In fact, if he really knew the sport, you would see in a hand wrap, they start cutting little pieces of away from the palm. That's allowed by the commission, so that way it clears the palm and it makes more of a surface area for them to make a fist. Regarding the first fight, that's his question, I have something for him. Tyson Fury that night had 6 pairs of MX gloves to choose from. He had black and he had green. So he went through the whole gamut, tried them all on. So any issues with the gloves, we had 6 pairs to go through. So he can throw that one out the window.
Were you at the glove selection meeting for those fights or no?
Yes, I was at the glove selection for Fury, but not at the second fight because he used Pappen for that one.
Okay. Yeah. That first fight, did the Wilder team have any objections at all about Fury's gloves, and did they get to look at them?
No, he's an Everlast fighter. So he had the option. I think he was going to go with the MX, but he ended up wearing the Paralock instead. Whereas Tyson decided to wear the MX. In fact, he looked at me and goes, "Cracking gloves, mate." And I was like, okay, cool. So, but we gave him the black, 3 pairs of black and 3 pairs of green. Now, here's the thing with the state of California. Let me sit up a little bit. The state of California requires that you have 3 exact same gloves for a title fight. So we had to make 3 pairs of black and 3 pairs of green because Tyson didn't quite know what color he was going to go with. So we had 6 gloves available to him. So that's kind of the cost, and the kind of the cost of the business is that we had to provide 6 custom color pairs of MX gloves for him. State of Nevada requires 3 pairs. One, the standard primary and secondary. So something happened to the first pair, but their third pair they keep. They'll keep it, and if they decide, they'll cut it open to see the contents inside. Should something happen, should a controversy happen, so they'll cut the glove open just to see if there's any inconsistencies with that custom colored glove versus what they cut open for stock players. Now, every new pair Everlast brings out, like our 1910 glove just came out a year and a half, 2 years ago. We had to send them off to the commissions before we even actually deployed them for use. So every major commission had them: California, Nevada, Texas, Florida, New York, and Pennsylvania. Those are the main ones that we work with. They all got a pair of the 19 glove before we even released it. So, I mean, our gloves are scrutinized before they even get to the ring.
Now, does a fighter, after a fight, if he feels that there was something wrong, the opponent, if he feels like the guy that wearing a certain glove, is there something wrong with it, does he have the right, and can he ask for the right of immediately having those gloves opened up?
Yeah, well, not opened up, but they can be confiscated. If he feels that there's a discrepancy in the gloves, he can ask the commission to confiscate, and they will bag them and take them. And it's the same with the wraps. If he thinks there's something wrong with the wraps, he can ask, hey, those wraps didn't feel right. He can ask for the commission to confiscate them, and they'll bag them, and then they'll review them later.
And in your experience, it's pretty much the same thing in Nevada, right? Because, I mean, Nevada and California, from what I hear, are pretty similar in what they do as far as...
Yeah, 100%. The only difference between Nevada and California is that Nevada actually has the manufacturer send the gloves to the commission, whereas in California, the promoter can still bring the gloves. Or sometimes if I'm here at an LA fight and it's an LA fight, sometimes I would bring the gloves.
Got you.
I brought up the hand wraps thing is because I wanted to ask you, because it's so difficult, and I remember, and Willie, and this is, I guess there's two parts here because Margarito was being accused of having plaster of Paris, and it was done in front of the commission, and he got away with it with his coach putting in there, and Indian Willie was like proving to me how difficult it would be because there's so many eyes in the locker room. He was telling me like, look, you got one guy, you got another guy, everybody's literally hovering over you. It's almost like sunlight on top of your body, and that's why I was asking you. I mean, in your experience, how is it possible to get by through something like that? Could Tyson Fury could have slipped off those hand wraps so that he can get his knuckle down? Is that possible?
No. Well, it's not possible to do exactly what they're saying. In other words, you're saying that he's trying to slide down the knuckle towards
out of the
hand wrap.
They're saying that he was hitting Wilder with this part of his hand and not this.
But
they're saying that it's not the crease that you see; it's this.
It's this,
right?
yeah. Instead of your hand.
Oh, so wait a minute. So that his whole fist was in the what we call
area.
the collar of the glove.
Yes.
If you don't mind me just saying this is their evidence. Well, I want to present to you what they say is evidence.
Hold on.
If I may.
Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'll show you something. Hold on.
Exactly.
I'm back. So
right.
Here is. You guys got a little treat. Here is Earl Spence's glove from the Ocampo fight.
Oh, there
it's
you
not
go.
the one he wore.
Is that an MX?
Yes. It's his third pair. We made a third pair for him. So now what you're telling me, let me open this up a little bit.
Oh, this is beautiful because I know what's going to happen when you try to put it.
So you mean to tell me
to be a big bowl?
It was like that?
Yes.
They're right there.
You got to tighten up the laces, bro. It's obvious.
There we go. Let me see. Now I got you on the solo screen. There we go. Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Tyson Fury had his hand like that in the first fight. Yeah,
it's impossible with a full wrap, with a full hand wrap. I have no wraps on, and there's no way you could have tightened it and keep it in what we call the collar. Now with a full hand wrap, with an entire, I think they go through 3 rolls of gauze and then tape.
It's a couple inches of gauze and tape.
Can you do us a favor?
Sure.
Can you put on the glove and bend your hand because they say it's impossible?
They say
it's impossible that it cannot be done.
Hand. Yeah.
There you
There
go.
it is. That's it. Put it on the big screen there, G Funky.
It's bending back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, leave it there.
Wait,
leave it there. I'll put you on the big screen.
It's bending back. Yeah, there you go.
They're saying that you can't do that. That's what they're saying.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow. There you go.
Yep.
So and that's an actual official glove that we made. Now, the one thing I'll show you too is that it's the same makeup. Let me see right there. Okay, it's the same makeup, same insides as a stock MX glove. The only difference is that we custom colored. We did his logos. We did silver inside. We did the truth on his pull bar here. And then we did the man down in Dallas Cowboys font. So I love these pairs. This is one of my